you breathe me. Let me be your air. Let me roam your body free. No inhibition, no fear. How deep is your love? Is it like the ocean?
So yet again, it's been a long time since I made one of these videos. A lot's been going on, like for example, we're in Thailand right now. But to tell the story, I need to go back to Stockholm and what was happening at Coaches Congress. It all started at the ISPO World Congress in summer last year. I was there representing Filauer, who make my All-Pro feet and running blade, and Otterbock, who make my 3D printed sockets. As I took a tour of all the stands, I met the guys from Add Fitness. They have adapted the concept to Rower and Ski-erg so that people in wheelchairs can use them more easily. There's even a kayaking adaptation for the Ski-erg. Not long after that, I got a message from Add Fitness asking if I wanted to represent them at Coaches Congress. Hi, my name is Hilton Jones. I'm a CrossFit Level 2 trainer, an adaptive and inclusive coach, and an adaptive CrossFit Games athlete. Join me at Coaches Congress this January, where I'll be sharing some insights and also leading a workshop on working with people with disabilities, or as we prefer to be called, adaptive athletes. When working with adaptive athletes, it's important to ask us what we can do and not what we can't. And if you're not sure about anything, ask. It was a fantastic opportunity to talk about being an adaptive athlete, adapting workouts for people with disabilities, and how to make your gym or CrossFit box more accessible and welcoming for adaptive athletes. We want you to say, I've never worked with someone with a disability before, but if you're okay with it, let's work on it together and enjoy the journey as we go. I got to meet my hero, Rich Froning.
All right, here's going to be the workout. We'll warm up, we'll come back up and let you guys know. Just want to give you a heads up on what's about to go down.
Full of energy, full of good vibes. He took time out of his busy schedule to test out the machines adapted by Add Fitness.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly close to the real thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, great thing, man. Can we do that? Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
We held an empathy workout. I got a lot of help from the Adaptive Training Academy and Adapt All or Nothing. An empathy workout allows able-bodied coaches and athletes to simulate working out with various physical impairments. We kept it very simple, seated, upper 1 point, and lower 1 and 2 point of contact. There was a barbell snatch, a row, and burpees. The participants had the chance to test out the adaptive movements for themselves and decide how to maintain the stimulus of the workout when we put them back into a workout that was designed for able-bodied athletes.
One eternity later.
The main reason for the Thailand trip was to celebrate Ellen's 40th birthday and her father's 70th. We spent lots of quality time together as a family, and I kept training to a minimum. Kojam was amazing, even better than I remembered.
Smile more when I see you. Smile more when the sunshine bright. Believe me, I need you. Smile more when you blow me up. Smile more when I see your face. Smile more. Smile less when I need to let go. Let go. Smile less when I let go. But you know I won't fall. Smile more when I see you. Smile less when I miss you. No, I don't wanna be left alone. So keep me company. Swear they holding on my feet, but they not under me. The fumes on your sweater smell is so lovely. And I will never sell my soul, but you could buy the lease. And don't believe in make believe, just make your ends meet. Say a weekend and the weekend, never stress a thing. And we gon' go another day when we don't disagree. And when the sun shining, regardless if you do believe. Hey, celebrate, in the morning when I see your face.
So here I am back in Sweden. That Thailand trip was a long time ago now. A lot's been going on, mostly good. I did the CrossFit Open, that went pretty good. I ended up in the semi-finals, but that's as far as I got.
Load the bar, don't rush.
Hilton Jones, lower below knee CrossFit Games semi-finals workout. What the hell was that? Hilton Jones, this is the third workout. I need to show the handstand push-up line. Hilton Jones, 26.2 semi-finals.
I get knocked out, but I go again.
This year was deliberately not about trying to get back to the games. The previous year, I'd taken a lot of time away from the family for games training. This year, the focus was on spending quality time with the family and working on my coaching. In September last year, I started working with my PT client, Jonas. A little bit further. Jonas is a bilateral amputee with 2 artificial knees. I'm lucky enough to have both my knees, so learning to work with someone who doesn't have any has definitely been a challenge. 1, 2. It's involved a lot of study, discussions, trial and error, experiments, advice from other amputees, particularly Stephen Handley. Jonas has a great sense of humor, so we can always have a laugh if something doesn't go completely to plan. When we first met, he told me his goal was to stay away from needing a wheelchair for as long as possible. It's a great goal, but I told him he could probably set his sights a little bit higher. So then he told me that one day he would really like to join a group CrossFit class, perhaps with his family. They also do CrossFit. So that's what we do now. We work on adapting CrossFit movements, looking at established CrossFit workouts and adapting them for his abilities. So far, he's done an adaptive version of Murph, DT, and Fran. He's regularly rowing 2K on the rowing machine and almost always beating his own time. Working with Jonas is genuinely the highlight of my working week, and I come away with so much new energy for myself. The problem is that when I decided to not make CrossFit a priority anymore, especially on the holiday, I didn't train as much, I ate and I drank way too much. And when I came back from Thailand, I came back at nearly 100 kilos, which is the most I've ever weighed. And the thing that I did, which was I think a common mistake, is that when I decided to make it less of a priority, I didn't make it a priority at all. CrossFit is definitely one of the reasons why I feel my life is so well balanced and why I can be so healthy and happy at 50 years old. Priorities can change, but that doesn't mean that you can drop one. So the main things for me would be obviously to podium at the Wheelboard Games, the CrossFit Games. Goal number 1, I did make it to the CrossFit Games last year. I didn't podium, I came in 7th, but I can definitely live with that. To improve my coaching throughout the year,
One big change is that coaching isn't my part-time job anymore. It isn't my side project. It is what I do. I'm loving learning about it, and also I'm very excited about the future. But more about that in the next episode. Learning to become the best father that I can be for my daughter. One thing that's never going to change is that I want to be the best father that I can be for Ella. CrossFit helps me be the father that I want to be. It gives me the energy, the strength, and more recently I'm realizing that I can bring her along on my own CrossFit journey. It doesn't have to be something that I do separate. I have a lot of ideas of how I'm going to fix all of this, but I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm going to save it for the next video. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.